Hey everyone, this video is just an update video really to show you where I stand on the development of my sort of game engine. I'm doing this of course in my free time, so bear with me if I'm kind of slow on it. So far what I spent today doing is I rewrote the entire thing, most of it, or restructured it really to use a sort of inheritance hierarchy that allows for abstraction in a lot of areas, or at least as much abstraction as possible, so that based on configuration set by the user, it'll be able to use either an STL application or potentially another type of application such as Win32, etc., and possibly use a DirectX graphics system. But as you can see, I have these interfaces, so game window, application. Some of them I haven't really been using yet, such as render, keyboard handler, etc. But what I did do is I made a dedicated STL class and wrapped the whole application functionality into a game app. So the way this would eventually work is something like this. I wrote a sort of an idea note. So what we'd have is another application, such as a configuration app that would run first, allow us to select certain settings, and then save that. It would save to a certain path. That path would always be the same, or be set in the registry. So on Windows you have Windows registry. On Linux it's generally just a text file next to your application. But then the game would then load that configuration. It would choose or be able to figure out what it should initialize to. And that's where sort of I am now. And what I do is I have this game application. This string is eventually going to be that config path. I try and initialize. I check that error. If it fails, of course it exits. Otherwise it starts, and as you can see now it generally works, and the log manager has started up, and it shuts down when you exit. So yeah, some of the basic functionalities there. There are other really important systems that I haven't dealt with yet, such as the event system, which is going to be a sort of broadcast system, dealing with, because you could either do it synchronously, which I have now. I just dropped in this STL event loop. This is synchronous, so you could sort of get yourself into a loop there and burn cycles. A good system would be some sort of asynchronous broadcast system that doesn't really block the application, but can sort of do things. I think I'm going to end up using a synchronous system for now, but the resource system, which is a mammoth project that I'm not really worried about yet, and of course the render system, which I'm going to start touching soon in my own project. But as you can see, it's sort of I implemented a bunch of other neat things, such as sort of an error code system. The log manager is actually technically done. The only thing that needs to be implemented for it is asynchronous file I/O, so that it doesn't really block the application when we keep writing a ton of logs to it, or at least bog it down so we can run the log manager in a separate thread. Yeah, that's about it. So there will be a couple tutorials very soon. So stay tuned, and hope you enjoy the tutorial.